is the network service of the NTA.
Every day gives you another splendid opportunity to look at things from a different perspective, to do things better, to make a difference, to make change, to speak out, to do what is right, and to ensure that you are carrying as many people along in a positive fashion as is humanly possible. And every time we're here together on Weekend Deal, what we strive to do is to ensure that we bring up the positive areas where you can get enlightened by with the most accurate information, and then you make the best impact. When you are armed with knowledge, information, support from us as usual, there's hardly any mileage or any distance that you cannot cover. In the last few weeks, there's been much talk about rape. That's an infringement on human rights of the person. It is a crime against humanity. And many people are not sitting down and just watching and doing nothing. They want to talk about it, they want to make change, and they want to walk briskly and ensure that the whole world knows that we determine this to be wrong and we believe there should be adequate punishment. We're still talking about beautiful things, right? In spite of the odds, there are things that are beautiful that can impact us. Beautiful people will be celebrated also on the program today. Is there an online pageant in the offing? If you stay with us for the next 2 hours, you'll get to know a lot about that. We're also talking about COVID, your businesses, how to strive, how to make positive change for you and your employees. Welcome. It's Weekend Deal on the Nigerian Television Authority. My name is Thelma Obaza. Keep our company for the next 2 hours. Weekend Deal. COVID-19 is no respecter of persons. Your age doesn't matter, your status, your gender, your religion, or your nationality. If you leave yourself vulnerable, you will succumb to COVID-19. Although it's not a death sentence, many are advised to take the necessary precautions on a daily basis and tell all those they interact with to do same. The new normal, it's being popularly called. That's why Francis is giving us more information about COVID-19 and the existing situation.
With the second phase of the gradual easing of the lockdown, which commenced on 2nd June and expected to last for an initial period of 4 weeks, the COVID-19 outbreak has spread fear and uncertainty across the world, as no country is exempted from this. Also, one of the realities of the coronavirus is the new normal it has engendered in the way things are done. The disease has so much affected social life and the world of work that there must be new ways of carrying out our daily human activities.
People are getting closer to one another again. They don't take the issue of washing of their hands serious again. Appliances of application of your, hand sanitizer is no longer the order of the day. So I'm seeing a danger if there is no government intervention as immediate as possible.
One of the areas where the government lifted its ban is on religious gatherings. However, the opening of places of worship will be based on state government's protocols. How is the new normal in our worship places?
Islam, so to say, when you're praying, your leg and your shoulder must come so close to one another, so much that you don't allow any space among yourselves. In fact, the imam will say it anytime he wants to lead and say that close the gap. let's not give the Satan any space among ourselves. Now that is no longer the order of the day. So the new order, the new normal, really has affected the religious aspect of our life so drastically.
No sector can be said to be free from the effects of the global pandemic, as many people will be rendered jobless because all economic activities the world over have slowed down. Those who will be hit the hardest are small-scale businesses that may find it challenging to adapt to the new normal of doing business via virtual means.
In the business place, you have SMEs, that is small and medium enterprises. Now, the medium enterprises, may get well and along with the new normal because they might be using the virtual platforms to sell their things. But the small enterprises, somebody in the market, a woman in the market who sat since morning till evening and everything, all our nets, the net business that she does, it does not go beyond, say, 2,000 naira. How do you think such a person will be able to transact on the e-platform? So they are heavily and greatly hit, those people in that class.
Another new normal is that classes and lessons will have to be done online, and this could be the pattern for some time to come. This will definitely pose major challenges for parents.
Can everybody afford this Android phone? Can everybody also afford the good, computer systems? So it's not everybody that has the capacity to buy, not every parent. So that is the area where we need to work on to ensure that we have efficiency in our power distribution and supply.
As we are all aware, the data rate in our country is high, unlike in most countries where data is cheap or even free. Can the government help in reducing data rates in order to reduce the burden on parents and students?
Data here is costly. You get a data of, say, 2,000 naira now. Maybe it doesn't sustain your child for 2 days. Now your salary is just 50,000 naira as a parent. How do you sustain it? After 2 days, you buy another data. So it's a problem. They need to come to the aid, just like what some of them did during the heat of the COVID-19, that every day you have 10 SMS free time that you can send to anybody with SMS free. We need a continuation of something like that and an upgrade, not only from the SMS area, but to that of the data as well. Send data.
Despite the easing of restrictions, the fight against COVID-19 is not yet over, as the virus is still potent and highly wasteful of human lives. Therefore, it is expected that all Nigerians take responsibility and play their roles. As much as all these new developments seem troubling, it is a clear opportunity to work things out for a better future ahead. Therefore, our focus on Weekend Deal today is on the new normal and how we can make the best out of them.
What is critical, what is essential is how you can make the best out of the existing situation. We move on now to Aba, where there's much talk about the survival statistics of small businesses. Perhaps that will give us a reflection of what is happening nationwide. How are the small businesses making do, or are they?
Cases of coronavirus in the country shows that the fight against the pandemic is yet to be won. Despite the lockdown policy of the federal government, the spread of COVID-19 remains unabated with severe consequences on the economy. The ease of lockdown order by the government of Abia State as a way of saving its economy from total collapse brought back hope to the business community in Aba. A visit to some of the markets in the commercial city reveals that businesses have picked up.
We are very, very happy for the little easing of time because we can now access our materials from the market. Most of the businesses we do come from outside the state, like Rivers State, Lagos, Abuja, Cross River, and other states. We are appealing for a little easing up of the state borders so that people can come in, book businesses and go back.
Before, we are tightening up But now, by the grace of God, God is moving in a wonderful way. But we are going to pray, say, let them give us more days in selling. Not only Monday, Wednesday, Friday, by 3 o'clock. By only 3 hours. It's not enough for us.
The easing of the lockdown, I think on my own that is the ideal thing to do. Because the common saying that people are not only suffering coronavirus effects, they're also suffering hunger effects. And you may not know that it's so dealt with people seriously, especially the black race, the lockdown. But like you did say, the lockdown was not aimed at punishing anybody. Rather, it was for the interest of the people, because anything less than that lockdown when it took place would have been very disastrous.
For this entrepreneur, innovation and diversification are key to surviving the COVID-19 era.
We have to look at agriculture. We have to look at how to review our budget. There is actually nothing new that is to be done in life other than thinking of how you can solve other people's problems to create value. In fabrication, is there anything for me to do? In the textile industry, is there anything for me to do? There is a whole lot we can, use this opportunity when foreign goods are no longer being imported.
It is pertinent, however, that residents of Aba, while carrying out their businesses, should not throw caution to the wind. After all, only the living can eke a living.
Do all the things that you need to do. Don't go out unnecessarily. Be conscious of these guidelines, the rules of wearing our face masks appropriately and also washing our hands. In fact, I have learned to wash my hands now more than I knew it in the past.
Yes, coronavirus must have turned the table against the human race. We must persevere and observe all the safety measures stipulated by government in anticipation that this pandemic will be over someday and normalcy will return to the commercial nerve of Abia State, known for its hustling and bustling.
Indeed, it's the hope of all Nigerians that normalcy will be restored nationwide and it can be business as usual. But in the meantime, in this new normal, how can you add value? After all, we often say that necessity is indeed the mother of invention. So how are you doing things in a fresh and rejuvenating way that will have the most impact on Nigerian survival is key. And now talking about small and medium-scale enterprises, and we're going to Kaduna. In the meantime, this is an interactive program. We expect to hear from you as usual.
Due to the advent of coronavirus pandemic, Kaduna State has put in place various degrees of lockdown. For businesses to survive, especially small-scale businesses, various means were devised by business owners in order for them to cope.
We thank God. It's by the grace of God we are coping with this lockdown. At least you can see me plating here. But before I will start to plait, I have to wash our hands. After everything, we still wash our hands and sanitize our hands. I normally go to home service. I go to home service at times because some of them are scared to come outside in public places. Honestly, the thing really affects our business because normally the way we come out to look for daily bread is not easy. We didn't find it easy.
Based on the provision made by the government to the people have been trying their best to survive. To be sincere with you, it's not easy. We need more umbrellas for our people and also the face masks for our people, but especially the umbrellas, because the weather, we are now in rainy season now, so that they will be able to put their things under the umbrella.
Thank God the business is moving on because majority depend on us being a POS mobile operator. So people receive and send in. I still have sanitizer, and then I do give my customer after the transaction.
Lucky for us were some of the few businesses that have already before now been able to get ourselves online. So, through our websites, our social media, we have already established our presence online. So for us, that just helped us to put more efforts on channeling all our focuses online. So most of our marketing, our sourcing of customers was no more done physically like here. So every effort was put into online sales, and I think that's the future of Nigeria. Everybody wants to have that convenience, just stay at home, shop online and get your product delivered to you, and that's basically the essence of our business model. So for us, that was a good thing that played to our advantage.
As the lockdown has been eased, businesses are gradually picking up, but not without challenges.
Initially, when the lockdown started, there was a lot of panic buying. If you remember the first few weeks of the lockdown, many people wanted to stock up. So at that point, it was a very good boom for the business. But then in terms of production, the lockdown caused a little bit of challenge for us because, our farmers were finding it difficult to be able to supply, us the products to the factory. We also to get across to them with the crates, where there was a lot of challenge in, the transporting of our products, especially from the farmers to us to process, and then from us to our customers, especially in other states.
Going about our day-to-day activities, despite the presence of COVID-19, is now the new normal. So let's ensure we stay safe.
Kaduna comes very interesting views. I will tell you, it's an opportunity to get fresh perspective on how to handle the goings on in this new normal. When a challenge presents itself, think without the box. There's no longer a box. It's not outside the box anymore. Think minus the box. Find a solution and keep moving. You're watching Weekend Deal. Please continue to interact with us. We want to hear your thoughts, how you're feeling the pulse of the new normal in the nation, and then we'll continue to exchange ideas. Well, we've been getting stories from all over Nigeria about COVID, the new normal, how business is surviving, how restaurants breaking even. What about transporters, commuters? What is different? If you are going to a religious house or a house of worship to serve God, how do you maintain social and physical distances? All these have formed the nucleus of our package thus far, and we continue to break even in new dimensions. We're going to focus on a new pandemic. It's not new in the sense that it has become a matter of grave concern, but it exists in every country all over the world. Let's chat with Michelle Oyeneke Peter. Okay, Michelle, nice to have you join us on Weekend Deal. But before we start our conversation, let's have something to tell us more about what our discourse is centered on. We're talking about rape.
If you ever wonder what story could be compelling enough to knock off a global pandemic health crisis off the front page of every major media outlet in the country, it is the rising case of rape and sexual assault. Over the past 2 months, Nigerians have woken up to different shocking, tragic, and violent real stories of rape against vulnerable persons. Of the recent and touching is the Uwavera Omozua, a 22-year-old student of Uniben who was raped and brutally murdered when she was at her church studying. Also, a teenager Barakat Bello, a student of Department of Science Laboratory Technology, was found in a home, raped and killed. In Lagos State, 4 masked men gained entry into the home of a 12-year-old girl where she was ganged raped. This recent escalating trend of rape and sexual assault has sparked nationwide outrage, which has led to street protests led by the civil society and human rights organizations in Nigeria, calling for stiffer punishment and its implementation.
We are tired of the incessant cases of women being raped in their own houses, in their own churches.
When a person gets raped, the family wants justice. When a child is raped, this is a crime against the state, not against her family. And so even when parents are pressured to withdraw cases, the state must say, no, this is a minor, this is a 2-year-old. The state should take up the case. This is why we're here.
Social media has been ablaze with outward of messages of condemnation with different hashtags. Hashtag we are tired. Hashtag say no to rape. Hashtag say no to rapists, to bring focus to these horrifying incidences. Some celebrities have also lent their voices in condemning this horrific trend of rape and demand justice for the victims.
If all you can do right now is contribute positively to the conversation online, don't feel like it is not enough. Let us keep speaking, keep talking, keep the conversation going till the right people in the right offices in the government listen to us. Those people who can make a difference and who can make Nigeria a safer place for young boys, young girls, and essentially for all of us.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics data report in 2018, received from the Nigerian Police Force and the Ministry of Justice, rape cases have been on the rise. The percentage of rape incidents of girls was 63.04% in 2015, 72.13% in 2016, and 69.33% in 2017. These figures are high, and with the current trend of rape and sexual assault case has prompted Nigerians to ask big questions such as, why does our legal system make it hard to convict suspected rapists? Why does our society blame women when they are victims of sexual assault? How can the medical science be used legally as evidence in sexual assault cases? These questions have evoked responses at the Senate level, where the current bill to prohibit the stigmatization of victims of rape and insurgency, which has passed the second reading in the Senate. The objective of the bill is to provide the legal and institutional framework for the protocol for reintegration of victims of rape and insurgency in the country.
Every person, community and institution shall protect and uphold the right to dignity and freedom of association of victims of rape and insurgency.
Victims of sexual assault in Nigeria most of the time never report to the police as they fear stigmatization and would rather live with the trauma and battle emotional problem in silence with the feelings of unworthiness.
There is value in each and every one of us, including you. That is precious even on the days you might not feel it. You never depreciate in value.
The nation has bound together to bring the spotlight to the menace of rape and how it is eaten deep like a cancer into the lives of victims of sexual assault and their families. This is the beginning of hope and true healings needed for the victims.
Thank you, Funke, for that. In the past few weeks, we've been reading about traumatizing stories that have been taking place in different parts of Nigeria. It's not peculiar to any state, any gender, any race, any religion. It's happening, and it's cause for concern. And because of that, we feel we must bring it to the table and discuss it. And Michelle Oyeneke Peter is facilitating this discourse on Weekend Deal today because she wants to have a peaceful walk. In fact, a demonstration of sorts about the battle against rape. Michelle, how are you doing?
Thank you. How are you too?
Fantastic. It's great to have you come talk with us today. But before this walk you're going to be having very soon, you have a very proactive interest about youth development and growth. Tell us about that.
Okay, actually, I really have so much interest in youth development, having seen that a lot of things are lacking in this country, especially in youth development. You and I know there's youth empowerment, as in is less here, as in also youth empowerment and employment, which is the reason why there's so much social vices in the country. So we're actually so anxious about it to see how we develop the youth and all the rest.
What changes have you made in the past?
We've been doing a lot of changes. Like even last year, we did work on a program on corruption, because we feel that we have to start from the grass. Do you understand? To start training them, to start so that they want you all know that.
So empower them with skills, loans.
Yes,
what do you do?
Yes, we do.
Skills.
We had a program we call grab the mic and drop the drugs. What are we trying to say is that you drop the drug, drop social vices, and use your talent. Everybody in life have talent. It's just a way for you, just for you to develop it. Some doesn't know how to develop it. So what do you do is to meet a role model, or come to an NGO, or even come to us. We are the Missions Youth Initiative for Sustainable Development. We are there for you. We're all over Nigeria to enlighten the youth, to educate them on how they can use their talent. Everybody have it. So by developing your talent, we are very, very sure in a greater deal you're not going to be in the negativity side.
Very good, because charity begins from the home. Exactly. These youths we see today are going to be leaders of tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's what we infuse them with, what we build into them, how we energize them. That's the result we'll be seeing in many years to come, when many of us are feeble, by the, if we're still here. But moving on now, the focal point now is this peaceful demonstration you want to have. Obviously, you've kept abreast with the happenings in the country.
Yeah.
How does the insurgence or the increase or the pandemic that rape has become, how are you going to marry it with a demonstration to achieve these results, or a reduction or eradication of rape in Nigeria?
Okay, well, we actually try to. This is something that has been happening all along. You understand? It's just that most of the people, most of the victims have kept quiet. They don't want to speak out because of the section about it.
Stigma, right?
Exactly. When you talk, people feel if you speak out.
That was the lady that was raped.
Yes, nobody wants to.
Rather than that is the man they said raped that lady.
Yes. So nobody wants to marry you. You are no more. You understand? So a lot of us keep quiet, which is not the best. It's better for you to speak out. And when you speak out, that is when you will see that those culprits, those perpetrators of rape, they will slow down. Right? So we want to give Nigerian female youths, not even the female youths, everybody, the voice to speak out. Speak out so that you gain your dignity. Yes.
First of all, we heard about Benin City. We heard about Ogun State. We heard about Oshun. There's even a young lady now that has a spinal cord injury because she was raped and thrown into a gutter. And she has not spoken since April. So in spite of the public outcry, I wouldn't say there's been a reduction. How do you think the demonstration will further bring about the results that we Nigerians are expecting?
You can see what I'm wearing here. A rapist is a killer. So we are telling them, I think I have a card there. Can you get the card for me? I have a card. We're giving them red card. If you're a rapist in Nigeria, we're giving you red card to leave Nigeria. There is no more business as usual. Leave Nigeria. You are a killer. Sometimes when they do it, like in campus, they do it because if you're a big girl, they want to rape you to bring your dignity down. It's no more business as usual because Nigerian female youths are out for you. Do you understand? We're going to follow you to the last.
But what is going to happen now? People are saying that the punishment does not fit the crime.
It doesn't.
Yesterday I found out that only 22 cases of rape have been taken to the apex court and people have been convicted in Nigeria in recent times.
The people are having, number one, the police are not doing much, which you want them to do much.
You have asked them, are you not giving them an opportunity to speak for themselves?
That is why we're coming out tomorrow. That's why we're coming out on Tuesday. We're coming out on Tuesday. We are coming out like a wounded lion. We're not just coming out, like it's going to be like the story of the 1929 women riot in Aba. That is how.
But it's a peaceful demonstration, isn't it?
It's peaceful, but we're still going to we're giving them a tough. It's no more business.
Your heart is burning.
We are burning. We're wearing our dress back. Tone to show them how angry we are about what is going on. 2-year-old kids, baby is
7 months.
7 months is being raped, and some of the problem is that the parents are not just helping. You understand? They want to. Sometimes they feel
the 7-month-old kids. The father has been raping her from 3 months.
Can you imagine?
That is the father up till she was 7 months, and the mother said there's practically nothing left inside in the innards of this child. The innards.
Thank God this mother, even she's being even speak out. Some of them doesn't want to. They said, "Oh, he's a family friend. I don't want to leave my marriage. I want to rest." Some of them want to keep their marriage. Which marriage are you keeping? Where you're living with an evil man? You're living with an issue.
You, as the mother, survived to get married. By the time your daughter is being bastardized from 7 months, what will be left of her when it's time for marriage?
That is the problem, because what I'm trying to tell you, there's no more it's no more family issue. Anybody, any female, any male, in fact, any human being that is being raped is not a state issue, and is a problem of Michelle's Youth Initiative. We are not going to take it lightly with them anymore.
But let's talk about the environment quickly. It's like, for me, for example, I have neighbors. Without leaving my house, subtly, we observe the happenings in the compound. I don't have to be standing by the gates. So I know what everybody is doing there, and I'm sure they know what I am doing. So it's no secret. When a child is being abused, everybody ought to know. We also have this conspiracy of silence. How do you examine that?
The problem we have is that sometimes we don't care about. That's what they said. You care about your neighbors. You understand? Be your neighbor's keeper. Some people see you crying. They see your face looking so sad. They don't want to ask you what's the problem with you. Are you okay? Is a problem here? So we're advocating that when you see people not looking nice, no matter what, try to find out why is this person like this. When you make that inquiry, I think something good is going to come out of it. You understand? So I think people don't care about their neighbors. People don't be their neighbor's keeper, which we are propagating. They should. When you see someone not fine, your friend is, yes, why is this person like this? Try and ask questions, because when you don't ask them, they don't talk. If I'm sitting with you, my kind of person and my NGO and what we are training them on, if I see you today, you're not looking. Before I see you, if you're looking good, I ask you, why are you so happy? You look so lovely. And when you're not good, I try to tell you. And by so doing, you have the mind to talk to me. This is what you're facing. Some of them are facing this because they feel nobody cares about them, because they don't have that love at home. So if they feel there's no love outside, they don't open up.
Some don't even know where to go.
They don't know
because
where to
your neighbor will say, please carry your problem. Maybe it's even the landlord's, maybe you are staying in the landlord's house. I cannot defend you before they will throw me out of the house.
So
I want us to also address women.
Going to schools.
Address women. Talk to women. Women in these homes where some young girls and some young boys too are being abused.
Yes, they are. You know the issue.
What ought to be the woman's perspective?
You heard about the issue of a 24-year-old lady that was sucking a baby's
private part.
Yes, of 4 years or whatever. Do you understand? And also, I will advise parents, if you have the money, no matter how you trust your home, have this security, yes, in your home. You understand? Because a lot of things goes in happens when you're not around. It helps a lot to see what is happening.
I was trying to say something about women. You know, it is natural, like the way you're talking with so much emotion. Women are supposed to be more emotional or be more conscious of the emotions around them. So I'm asking you to address them in a way that they need to be more observant, even without the CCTV. Sometimes they are physically present in a dangerous situation, and sometimes they say they are oblivious. They say they did not see it coming. They say they did not see it happening.
Okay, what I would advise in that aspect is that, number one, it's not as if you're suspecting your husband, but you have to be talking to your husband, sensitizing your husband. There's nothing bad about it. Sir, this is what I'm not suspecting you. I'm not believing that you are going to do something like this, but just let him know. And another thing is that it's good for family to pray. Do you understand? You pray for your family, you pray for your husband, and always talk to him. When you're talking to him, you'll be conscious. For my husband, for my wife to think about this, you understand, it will not allow him to go into that, even if you have such idea. So always bring that idea. Not that you are suspecting him, not that you think he's going to do that, but it's good to bring the issue at home at every moment.
What about the young girl in the house?
We're talking about sex education. Some people feel like we now, our NGOs, we're going to schools, primary schools, to educate them about sex education. It's quite important.
There's a message coming in from Osun State, from Aliyu Awosami Ayola. He says this issue of rapists all around the country is bad. But at the same time, most of our ladies are the cause of this evil act due to indecent dressing. We spoke about this. Tell us about the lady in Ibadan with the hijab in her home. Her doors were locked.
I want to say something. The issue of rape is not about indecent dressing.
The 7-month-old baby.
That is it. It's not about this. Anybody, a rapist is a rapist. All the rapist need is a opportunity. So what you're advising is the young people or anybody, don't be in a secluded place, don't be in a lonely place where you will shout, nobody will hear you. Don't ever find yourself there. You're naked and you're not naked, a rapist will rape you.
The 80-year-old women too.
That is it. Look at the lady in her house.
The girl in the church.
In the house, look at the church. I know she wasn't naked. So it's not about indecent dressing. And even if you do research about it, it's not about indecent dressing at all. In fact, I'll tell you, and what we're talking about is that there's no justification for rape. No reason for you. The people that do rape is killers. They do it. The people that do it they're evil people. Do you understand? There's no justification for that.
But can I take you along one very interesting journey? I know it's essential that we talk to our young children, but one is beginning to wonder what is in the minds of these people. An 80-year-old woman, a 7-month-old girl, a 2-year-old girl that has nothing, a 15-year-old person, your younger sister's friend, her best friend for that matter. But let's talk about the role of the parents towards these young children. How ought we to equip them for the dangers that the world may pose?
Yeah, the truth about it is that the home have a lot to do. Like, I want to use myself as an example, the way I was trained, there are things I cannot do. Even if my parents are not there. Yes, I can't smoke. I've been in a place I see people smoke, they say, oh, it's so sweet, is this, is that. I can't get in.
Your brain is still there.
Yes, because I look back. My parents, they are not there. Because it's only something that is imbibed in me. It's not about going to church. It's not about going to mosque or wherever. It's something that you imbibe in them. You teach them. It's even written in the Bible. Teach them the way they will go. And that is how it's going to be. So the home, the family have a lot to do. Everybody is looking for money. This and that. The mother, the father. That is a problem. You leave them there, you come back and give them material things and think you're doing the best. It's not it.
While somebody in the house is abusing
the parents have a lot to do. You need to calm down and know what is going on in the house. You need to be down. You need to ask them questions. You need to know what they're doing.
Someone is saying here that
even the movie they're watching, you need to
apprehended. I think it goes beyond apprehended. Well, let me quickly take this one from Raphael Ololade. Olokbade. It says a particular lady was raped 2 days to her wedding. What ought the husband or even the lady to do? But I want you to be specific about enlightenment from guardians and parents to children, boys and girls. Be specific. What should a mother educate her daughter about? What should she tell her young son? What is the role of the father, the male guardian in the home? Let's do that in 30 seconds.
Okay, while growing up, they always tell us don't allow a man to touch you, but they weren't specific about touch. So we feel it's just here. Do you understand? Don't allow a man to touch you. But they didn't tell us don't allow men to touch your private part. They should allow a girl child, the boy child, to understand what is private. This is your private part. It only belongs to you. Nobody touches it. Not even your mother, not even your father, not even your uncle. Nobody have right to sit on it or touch it in any how. So number one, they were not opening up to us. That is why we have all these pregnant teen mothers and all the rest. So they have to open up. This is your private part. It belongs to you. This is your private part. Nobody goes this area. It belongs to you. A man doesn't have the right to. You understand? So they have to be specific. There's nothing. You have to open up about sexual education. You have to start from home, from the tender age. Some mothers like 2-3 years they're still sleeping with their kids naked and all the rest. It's not right.
Okay.
You don't have to shower with your.
You must maintain social and physical distance.
Yes.
But let's come quickly to this event, this peaceful demonstration, the walk against rape, which you're saying the whole world must say no to rape. Yes. Venue, time, day.
Okay.
Who is going to be a part of it?
We're going to work with the other NGOs. We are also working with the Office of the Women Affairs. At the moment she's really doing well, Pauline Talent, So we are working in partnership with her. On that day, we're still going to visit her. She's doing a great job. So the Nigerian youths were coming, Nigerian female youths, though there are some guys that are with us, we're attacking the killers. It's no more business as usual. You are a murderer. If you rape a girl without her consent, if you touch a girl without her consent, touch.
There should be punishment.
Punishment. We are in for it. It's not about the girl, it's about us.
Have you told us the location?
So we're letting them know, we're giving them red card. You can see my red card.
Where is this happening? Have you told us where it's happening?
Unity Fountain, we're starting from there. We're going to have a walk from there. National Assembly, Women Affairs, Police Headquarters, Judiciary, because these people are really concerned. When you go to the police station, you have they want to ask you, what are you wearing? Is that the problem?
Tell us the date and the time.
On the 16th of June.
That's Tuesday?
That's on Tuesday, yes.
At 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. You know, 16, 17, 18 is 19 is International Elimination of Sexual Abuse to.
So it's timely. The work is timely.
It is very timely.
I wish you every success in this work.
Thank you.
You are speaking for all Nigerians and indeed the entire world, especially those who know the traumatic effect that this act can have, not just on the person abused, an entire family can be affected just by this. The punishment must also fit the crime. Yes. Thank you, Michelle Oyenike Peter. We have been talking about a rising pandemic in the world. It does not have a home in Nigeria. Michelle and all Nigerians are working on Tuesday, starting from the Unity Fountain in Maitama, to ensure that we kick out rape and we continue to say no to it. It's good to find out what's happening around you so you know how to keep abreast of the goings on. Amidst COVID-19, popularly tagged the new normal, you're watching Weekend Deal. We're going to unveil information for you in a new direction now. Beauty in the virtual space. Kachi put this together for us, and then we'll have a chat. Don't go anywhere.
Brands of the fashion and beauty industry were already reliant on social media and digital technology to bridge the gaps in customer relations and marketing. Now, as the effects continue to ripple through various sectors of the economy, stakeholders are redesigning their models of operation and considering a new approach to social events by going full digital. With social gatherings cancelled, the industry is exploring creative ways to showcase their latest offerings. Fashion shows are being organized via video conferencing platforms, and brands are debuting their collections on their social media with virtual premieres. But for Mocha Beauty's monthly held beauty contest, the platform is entirely online and has been since its inception late last year. The existence of a beauty contest on a solely digital platform has not been without challenges.
In a bid to make sure they clinch the star prize, we started with 100,000 for the first prize winner. Now, first prize winner takes 200,000. And we have noticed that a number of the contestants will do practically anything to ensure a win, and this includes things that are not ethical.
The Mocha Beauty Contest recently concluded its 4th edition, crowning its winner for the month of May. While observing the federally mandated pandemic precautions, the latest face of Mocha Beauty Contest was crowned in an intimate ceremony. The latest group of hopefuls are already hedging their bets to win the crown for June. Mocha Beauty Contest was conceived prior to the current pandemic, but is perhaps a timely foreshadowing of the imperative to make a wider embrace of digital concepts.
Thank you for that package, Kachi. Wow, beauty being unveiled in the virtual space. Isn't that interesting? Who thought we'd see that? Well, let's get to talk to the face and the name behind Mocha Beauty Digital Pageant, Devan Mom. Nice to have you with us on Weekend Deal.
Thank you so much, Kachi. Nice to see you. It's been a while.
And Thelma, Kachi was the one that packaged the feature.
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Great to have you join us. What is the essence of this pageant?
Well, the essence is to make it, to open up the conversation around beauty so that it's not as exclusive as it currently is. Okay. You know, even very young girls now have body image issues. An 8-year-old will be complaining that she's fat and all this. It's wrong. I think every woman is beautiful in her own unique way, and that's one of the messages the Mocha Beauty Pageant is trying to get people to understand. We reject the notion that you have to look a certain way to be considered beautiful. I don't believe that your beauty should be wrapped around your complexion, how slender you are, how big-breasted or how small-waisted. As a result, our contest is open to women of all shapes, sizes, complexions, and everything.
So what then are you celebrating?
We are celebrating your personhood.
Okay.
Your capacity to go out there and mobilize votes is what matters far more than your looks. By all means, send us lovely pictures. Make sure that you conform to our specifications. Make sure you look good in those pictures. But your beauty alone will not win you the prize on our contest. You have to be able to mobilize people to vote for you. And that builds your confidence. You have to go out there and talk to more than your friends. You have to learn how to mobilize people to get what you want. And you have to think of different strategies. You have to get creative about winning. Of course, we've observed that some people get creative in the negative way as well, but that's only to be expected, even with physical pageants. And beyond that, we also wanted to make it as, open up the space as much as possible. Every now and then I see a woman who, in my opinion, is so beautiful, but I know she'll not be able to participate in a traditional pageant. One, maybe age is no longer on her side. Maybe she's married and has kids. Maybe she's a single mom. Maybe she's a little heavy set, and so on and so forth. So what our pageant is offering is the opportunity for you to send us pictures from the comfort of your home. Okay. You're not going anywhere. You're not traveling, so you're not spending money on that. You're not necessarily buying new outfits. Just go to a studio, get a really good shot, 3 very good shots in different outfits, send them on. There was a time when you could just log on and register. Now you have to apply because of the volume of pictures we
coming
get.
in.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're getting so much influx?
Why
are people very interested? Is it the money?
For one thing, I think just sending 3 pictures and then with the possibility of earning 200,000 is not really bad. I wouldn't mind
not
myself.
At all.
So that's not a bad one. But apart from that, you have so many people, stuck at home now with nothing much to do. The COVID-19 situation has led to quite a bit of lockdown. People are spending more time on digital devices, from their phones to laptops and other smart devices and so on and so forth. Girls love to showcase their beauty, and some of them are going about it the wrong way. Like if you're active on social media like I am, every now and then you'll find a girl who has gone full frontal nude and has put her pictures out there and will get absolutely nothing in return except negative attention. So I figured, if there are so many girls out there who want to showcase their beauty, why not turn it into a contest where, one, they can, it can boost their confidence because they have to go out there and mobilize votes. They can earn some money that they can use for whatever it is they want to do. And at the end of the day, you open up the space to all kinds of women to showcase their beauty.
Is there any age bracket?
There isn't. You just have to be an adult. You have to be at least 18 years old.
So my mom that's 70 can come?
Absolutely. If she thinks she can pull the right number of votes, if she thinks that she can go out there and get her friends to log on and vote for her, she could win. So it's not about how young you are, it's about your confidence, your capacity to say, listen, I may be the shortest person, I may be really heavy set, but I have confidence and I know that I have the right kind of friends, I can mobilize them, they're willing to vote for me, and I could possibly win.
That's interesting.
Yes.
What about the person that emerges the winner? I know they can do with the resources what they want or what they will. How do they go on to give us a positive representation of what women can be?
Well, first
in
of
Nigeria
all,
and beyond?
we don't leave that to chance. So we specify that within the period you are with us as one of our queens, you're also a representative for the brand. There's a certain conduct we expect of you. We don't expect, for instance, that you'll use your social media handle to get all weird and funny, maybe put up some weird pictures or public displays of affection that are not too nice. So we expect a certain conduct of decency from you.
And you tell them ahead.
And it's written on the site.
So what happens if somebody should contravene this guidelines?
It hasn't happened so far, but what will happen is if you're a queen, you'll lose your crown.
Not the money.
Not the money. We've already given you the money. Okay. So, but after that, if you contribute, you will lose the opportunity to participate in Miss Year, which will come up in December, and will have far bigger prizes than what's currently going on.
But why are you doing it monthly?
Well, that's a good one. We're doing it monthly, first of all, to keep young ladies engaged. And apart from that, like I said, it's not really a beauty pageant per se. You see, I've been that age.
Celebration of women.
It's a celebration of your womanhood. And in addition to that, we're showcasing Nigerianness, because the main photo that people will see to vote for you, you have to be in Nigerian traditional attire.
Anyone you choose.
Whatever you choose, it has to be some reflection of the Nigerian thing. It could be a tampa, it could be your woven cloth, you know, and we're getting a huge influx of traffic. Huge influx. For one thing, we've dispensed with the bikini thing. We don't do any bikinis. You are encouraged not to expose too much of your body. We want to, you know, promote that too. There's a little bit of the exposure thing going on too much. And yes, while there's been the whole debate about whether it encourages rape or not, I do not agree that it encourages rape, but it certainly attracts negative attention. So we're trying to get girls to know that you can look really, really good even when you're covered up. So you don't need to expose your body. And the message has been so well received. We get such heavy traffic that I would sound as if I'm exaggerating if I begin to, you know, talk about that. So it would be a very good platform for advertisers who are trying to reach young ladies of a certain age. Although our age doesn't have a cap on it, we've found that we're attracting more girls between the ages of 18 to 35, mostly undergrads, youth corps members, people who are newly employed. Those have been mostly our contestants. Those are mostly the people who come on there to vote, and then of course sometimes get to look at our articles and so on and so forth.
What is the bigger picture?
Well, the bigger picture is to keep this going for as long as possible and produce one final queen every year.
Who will now go on to do?
Who will now go on to have loads of opportunities, because it will go beyond receiving that cash prize. It will go beyond that cash prize and something else. Even right now, the monthly queens that are emerging, they are the ones who have not chosen to take the opportunity. But the opportunity is there for all three queens, because we have first, second, and third, for each of them to be linked with mentors who can help them with career growth.
Interesting.
But they do not take advantage of that, although they are aware of it. So I don't know what the problem is. Maybe they're just not
Eventually
interested.
they will.
I don't know. But ultimately, whoever emerges this year and first and second runner-up are going to be linked up to other opportunities for career growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at this angle. Some may be asking at this time, how fair is the process that brings forth the 1, 2, 3?
In my opinion, it's as fair as I can make it. The tragedy, so to speak, is, like I said, there are some of our contestants don't come in with good or honest intentions. Their plan is to rig their way through the process. And while we do have a firewall that can't be breached, every month we modify the contest, how the voting will take place and so on. And each time, after the first couple of days, you find people who are willing to do things that are wrong in order to give themselves an edge over the other.
But they are seriously discouraged.
What we do is we look through the fake votes, we warn the contestant who is, found wanting, and we weed out those votes.
Okay. What about hackers? Any threat of some negative
No, we have a firewall. You can't hack. So what happens is we insist that people vote with valid email addresses. So the tendency is for people to come up with a whole bunch of fake addresses. Like one person could come on board with like maybe 15 different emails in a bid to, and you can spot a fake email address like this. In addition to one or two other tricks they play, which I'd rather not go into, because I don't want to give people tips. But that's just one way we're able to distinguish between a fake email and a valid one. First of all, you can tell how old a certain email is just by looking on the back end and so on and so forth. So when we spot fake votes, we remove them.
Immediately.
Okay,
your final words.
My final word is Mocha Beauty is a highly innovative product. It's a wonderful platform for advertisers, and I think they should take advantage of it because we have a good presence in Benue State, the FCT Kaduna, and we're reaching into Lagos. So if there's anybody out there who wants to engage with young women of between the ages of 18 to 35, Mocha Beauty is where they want to come.
Fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. We need more women to celebrate women. We applaud what you're doing so far, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
I know we'll hear more about the wonderful Nigerian woman who emerges in the month of June.
Hopefully.
Have a fantastic time bringing her to the fore.
Thank you.
You're watching Weekend Deal. It's time for a break. Stay with us. We'll be back. Weekend Deal. We'll take a few messages that have been coming in even while the program was on. This is John from Warri. He says the problem of rape is because some churches have failed society. Why will a man call himself a pastor and be a boyfriend to someone who is not his wife? He says the Bible says no to fornicators as they will not inherit the kingdom of God. Joseph Boniface Ojonago from Kogi State says, let's be real, let's be realistic. He said rape has become a habit. But Joseph, is it a good habit? He said ladies should respect themselves and be satisfied with what they have and stop double dating. He also says ladies should not expose their whole body system outside for people that are not their husbands or their parents to see, because people may want to lay their hands on anything. I don't know if Joseph, are you aware of the case of the 7-month-old girl? Of the lady who was in her home in her hijab, who was raped and killed? Are you aware of the 17-year-old that was raped on her way to run an errand for her mom and dumped in a gutter? They were all, that baby of 7 months can't have been provocative to anyone, least of all her father. Let me take one more. You didn't tell us where you are reaching us from, but you said rapists should be punished with death sentences, as rape is a very barbaric act. You said we need to sensitize our youths about the dangers of rape, first in committing it. And he said parents should limit the kind of relations that their children have with others. He said because 90% of rape cases are committed by people that their children know. He said all hands should be on deck to stop this act, and rapists must and should be dealt with severely. The punishment for rape must fit the crime and must serve as a deterrent for others. My colleagues here have been telling us that some of these rapists have psychological challenges. Be that as it may, if you see that your neighbor, your friend, your family member, your cousin has mental problems that could lead him to rape people, let him go for treatment before he commits the act. Because once he commits the act, we are not feeling any mercy for them. We can't begin to bring up excuses that they are sick or they are spiritually challenged. Those things should have been checked earlier on. Let us say no to rape. Nigerians, let us collectively say no to rape. Let us portray our mothers, our daughters, our sisters with pride. Let us treat every female the way we want people to treat our own. Let us treat them with love, with respect. Let us be loyal to Nigerian women. Let us portray them in the best light possible. And God indeed bless Nigeria. My name is Thelma Obaza. Thank you for keeping our company on Weekend Deal. Have a great week. Bye-bye.